The car dealership empire is finally crumbling. For years, they've exploited customers with outrageous markups, hidden fees, and sneaky sales tactics. Now they're suffocating under the weight of their own greed. Take a drive past any dealership today and witness the beautiful irony unfolding. Parking lots are bursting with unsold inventory, overflowing with cars nobody wants to buy. Most dealers are still stuck with old models from years ago, watching them gather dust while losing money daily. This is the inevitable consequence of exploiting your customer base, of slapping $30,000 markups on vehicles during a supply crisis, of adding thousands in ridiculous fees and useless add-ons, of viewing every customer as nothing more than a walking wallet. In this video, I'll reveal exactly how the industry has flipped on its head, why dealerships are in full panic mode, and most importantly, how you can leverage their desperation to score the deal of a lifetime. The balance of power has completely shifted, and these dealers are about to learn a painful lesson. Watch until the end, because I'll show you exactly how to use this to your advantage. Remember just 2 years ago when dealership lots were empty. You'd walk in and they'd act like they were doing you a favor by even talking to you. Now look at them. Hundreds, even thousands of vehicles are rotting in parking lots. Things are so bad that dealers are turning away new cars from manufacturers. They literally cannot accept any more vehicles because they have nowhere to put them. Some even resort to renting extra space elsewhere just to store inventory they can't sell. Many dealerships today are still sitting on 2023 models. Think about that. We're in 2025, and they're stuck with brand new cars that are already 2 years old. These vehicles eat up valuable parking space while racking up thousands in monthly flooring costs. Every single vehicle bleeds money in interest alone. Dealers went from acting like kings to desperately begging for buyers. They created this disaster by getting greedy when people were most vulnerable. Back when cars were scarce, they extracted every possible dollar from desperate buyers. Now they're stuck with endless inventory that nobody wants or can afford. Let's talk about how we got here. When the market went crazy in 2020, dealerships saw dollar signs and completely lost their minds. They decided MSRP wasn't enough anymore. They wanted to bleed customers dry. Market adjustments became their new religion. $10,000, $20,000, even $30,000 slapped on top of sticker prices. They hid behind supply and demand excuses, but everyone knew it was pure greed. They exploited people who desperately needed vehicles during a crisis. Remember those record-breaking years in 2022 and 2023? Dealerships raked in more money selling fewer cars than ever before. They actually bragged about it, celebrating how they squeezed maximum profit from every single customer. They genuinely believed this gravy train would run forever. But here's what these geniuses failed to predict. They burned every bridge with their customer base. People don't forget being treated like garbage. They remember those insane markups, those ridiculous fees, that arrogant attitude. Now those same customers won't set foot in a dealership, leaving dealers drowning in cars they can't sell. This is karma serving up a cold dish of reality to the car business. Now watch these same greedy dealers scramble for survival. Dodge, Jeep, and Ram are slashing $30,000 off most vehicles. That's how desperate things have gotten. But here's the beautiful irony. Even with these massive discounts, customers aren't biting. Why? Because prices were so ridiculously inflated from the start that $30,000 off barely makes a dent. When a truck costs $100,000, knocking off 30 grand still leaves you with a $70,000 vehicle that normal people can't afford. Every manufacturer has caved and started selling below MSRP. The same dealers who arrogantly declared they'd never discount again are now practically on their knees, begging customers to buy something, anything. Some have hit rock bottom, selling at invoice just to clear space. Their cocky attitude has completely evaporated, replaced by pure panic. The tables have turned completely. Dealers went from holding all the cards to holding none. They're hemorrhaging money on flooring costs, getting hammered by manufacturers, and watching their lots transform into automotive graveyards. Yet customers still shake their heads and walk away. That's the price you pay for treating your customer base like enemies instead of partners. Even with their lots overflowing, dealers still haven't learned a thing. They're running the exact same scams in the finance office, so let me expose their dirtiest trick of all. When you finance through them, they shop your loan to multiple banks behind the scenes. Say you qualify for 5% interest, they'll never tell you that. Instead, they'll come back showing you 7% and quietly pocket that 2% difference. The sickest part? They're not required to disclose your actual approval rate. It's legalized theft hiding in plain sight, and those ridiculous add-ons haven't disappeared. $600 for nitrogen in your tires that costs them $5 or less, or $1,500 for basic window tinting. They're squeezing every last penny from buyers who mistakenly believe the dealership is helping them out. The finance office has become their profit center. They'll sell you a car at invoice to get you in the door, then rob you blind on the back end with inflated rates and phantom fees. Even drowning in desperation, they simply cannot resist screwing over their customers. It's like watching an addict who can't quit. The most annoying thing of all is that you can't even buy a car directly from the manufacturer. It's literally illegal in most states thanks to franchise laws that protect dealerships. Think about that. Laws exist to force you to go through a middleman who adds zero value but plenty of cost. You can't just order from Ford or GM like you order from Apple or Amazon. You have to go through these parasitic dealerships that exist only because the law says they must. For most people, buying direct would be infinitely better. No markups, no finance scams, no bogus fees. Just a fair price for the vehicle you want. But dealers have lobbied hard to keep these laws in place because they know they'd be extinct without them. This is why dealers can get away with everything. They have legal protection. They're a mandated middleman that you can't avoid. Franchise laws need to be abolished. They're outdated relics that only serve to protect dealer profits at your expense. Until that happens, dealers will keep scamming because the law forces you to deal with them. What sickens me most is how dealerships are desperately pushing 84-month loans just to move their overpriced inventory. We're talking 7-year car loans, and 22% of buyers are actually signing up for this insanity because it's the only way they can afford these inflated prices. Let that sink in for a moment. People are accepting 12% interest rates with $1,600 monthly payments. They'll end up paying more in interest than the car's actual value. By year 7, they'll finally own a worthless vehicle while still owing thousands to the bank. This disaster is entirely the dealers' and manufacturers' creation. They inflated prices so dramatically that these crushing loans became the only option for average buyers. Banks will approve anyone breathing at rates up to 23% because credit standards have gone out the window. Nobody cares whether you can actually afford the payments. The consequences are already hitting hard. Repo rates have shot to their highest levels in over a decade. Buyers can't keep up with payments. Banks are bracing for massive losses, and the entire house of cards is crumbling. Yet they keep pushing these toxic loans because it's their only lifeline. Without them, their inventory would rot on the lot forever. Now for the good news, you hold all the cards. The power has completely shifted to buyers, and it's time to use their desperation to your advantage. First rule, never settle for one dealership. Shop everywhere, even cross state lines if it saves you money. Dealers are fighting tooth and nail for every single sale, so let them compete. Collect quotes from multiple dealerships and watch them undercut each other trying to win your business. Second, secure your own financing before setting foot on any lot. This kills their favorite profit scheme, marking up your interest rate. When you walk in pre-approved, their finance manager loses the ability to pad their profits on the back end. Third, master the art of walking away. This is your ultimate weapon. While you can shop for months, they're hemorrhaging money on hundreds of unsold cars every single day. Make your offer, and if they won't meet it, head for the door. Your phone will ring before you reach your car. Right now, most new vehicles are selling near invoice, especially domestic brands. MSRP is ancient history. Remember, they need your sale desperately. You don't need their car. Make them earn every penny of your business. So there you have it. Dealers are finally choking on their own greed after years of markups and treating customers like walking ATMs. The tables have turned and justice tastes sweet. Subscribe for more automotive truth and watch the video on screen for what's coming next.